Hi, you are watching Farming Discover YouTube channel. Now we will show a video on 5 most expensive spices in the world. Spices have always been part of our human history as explorers. During the early days of exploration, many lands were discovered by nations in search for spices, which shows exactly just how important these things are. Spices as a commodity may be small, but their usefulness in the culinary world are essentially priceless. Once spices were discovered, it became impossible to go back to cooking without them. Today, many spices are still considered to be highly valuable in worth and price. Here are 5 of the world's most expensive spices according to today's market prices. Cinnamon. Cost $6 per pound. Cinnamon is used both in savory and sweet dishes. The spice comes from the bark of the cinnamomum tree, which is native to countries such as Sri Lanka, India, and Indonesia. Today, it is used in many countries as a staple spice for many dishes. A dash of cinnamon adds a wonderful flavor to many beverages such as coffee, tea, hot cocoa, and even wine, among a few others. A dash of cinnamon also adds a certain depth to different kinds of curry dishes. It's a good thing that you don't need a lot of cinnamon to make it work, considering that this spice costs roughly $6 per pound. Clove. Costs $7 to $10 per pound. This spice is popular during the holiday season, but cloves are an important flavor component in many dishes throughout the world. The clove is native to Indonesia, but it also grows in other countries such as Madagascar and India. Cloves have a very distinct smell and taste, and you only need very little of it in order to get the flavors across. Cloves have many medicinal benefits, but it also happens to be a typical ingredient when it comes to perfumery and other fragrances. Cloves are quite aromatic indeed, and when used in cooking, you can immediately identify the clove smell once it's been added to a dish. Cardamom. Costs $30 per pound. The flavors of cardamom are very strong. Some say that it's a flavor profile that you would have to grow to like, others say that cardamom is delicious indeed. Still, there are others that refuse to take cardamom at all. The flavor of this particular spice is quite strong, but in right amounts, it can turn an ordinary dish or beverage into something special. This spice is native to India and comes in 2 different types, black or green cardamom. The cardamom we mostly associate with the name and the flavor is the green cardamom. The black cardamom happens to have a minty taste and a smoky aroma in comparison. Vanilla. Costs $50 to $200 per pound. The price point obviously depends on the type of vanilla you have, but either way you can agree that it's pretty up there. Given the fact that vanilla flavors many things, you may think that it would be more affordable. Many companies copy the essence of vanilla to add to dishes, but there is nothing in comparison to some fresh vanilla. Luckily, because of the strength of the spice, you only need very little of the spice in order to get the flavors across. Mexico and Madagascar produces some of the best vanilla in the entire world, but these could cost you up to $200 per pound. Saffron. Costs $1,600 to $5,000 per pound. Saffron comes from a particular flower that is native to Central Asia, and this is the reason why it is so expensive. India is the largest manufacturer of saffron in the world. The spice itself is the stigma of the flower, and each flower has only about 3 stigmas. It is quite laborious to harvest, so in order to get a pound of saffron, you would need roughly 80,000 flowers. However, you really would not need that many for your cooking. A strand of saffron could bring the most wonderfully sweet flavor in your dishes. The addition of saffron also adds color like no other spice like it. It brings about a hint of golden yellow that's as stunning as sunset itself. Conclusion. Spices tend to have strong flavors and are used in small quantities. Spices tend to add few calories to food, even though many spices, especially those made from seeds, contain high portions of fat, protein, and carbohydrate by weight. However, when used in larger quantity, spices can also contribute a substantial amount of minerals and other micronutrients, including iron, magnesium, calcium, and many others, to the diet. Thank you for watching.
Like the video and share with your friends.
And if not subscribed our channel, subscribe Farming Discover.